In this series, I would like to talk about some of our own homebrew stuff and how it was balanced, what was the idea behind them, and the background lore connected to it in our own world. And I thought it would be nice to begin with the Spear of Seasons. Now, Spear of Seasons is a legendary spear. It gives +2 to attack and damage rolls, and it has different abilities based on the current season. It always gives resistance to some types of damage, it gives you a damaging spell once or twice a day with DC 16, and it has one weather effect. And lastly, once per year it can be used to permanently change the climate and season in a 1 mile radius. Now, as far as balancing goes, I try to make the seasonal effects about equal in strength, mainly when it comes to the spells. Winter gets 1 charge of Cone of Gold, which is a 5th level spell, which I thought was about equal to 2 charges of a 3rd level spell in Lightning Bolt and Fireball for spring and summer. And the only difference is that Fall has both a 5th level spell and a 3rd level spell in Cloud Kill and Stinking Cloud. But that's because I thought that Fall didn't really have much else going for it, and poison damage is one of the most resisted types. And the same could be said for Fire in Summer, but I am of the notion that this is kind of negated by the overpoweredness of Fireball when compared to other 3rd level spells. However, I would still say that Winter and Spring are more powerful than Summer and Fall, mainly due to the special powers of encasing someone in ice for 1 hour and the ability to heal 80 HP and all negative conditions once per day. Now, if you know some of our items, you might have realized that their power levels are often somewhat higher than those of the items in the core rules, and they might seem a tad overpowered sometimes. That is sometimes partly due to my own faulty balancing, of course, but often is intentional in a way, because content-wise I think it is better to give you something with many features, and you choose what you like and you can cut out the rest if you don't like it or if you think it is unbalanced, without it becoming bland or boring. And these 2 powers fall in that category. The item would be more balanced if the ice encasing and healing wouldn't exist, but it can be used if you find it interesting or if you are sure it won't outbalance your game. And one thing that quite a few people mentioned is that this item should perhaps be an artifact and not just a legendary. Power-wise I agree, but I don't make any of my items artifacts at all, because that usually means that they have a very specific story behind them, and that there are unique ways how to destroy them, how they are created and so on. And since they all come from our own homebrew world, which is in many little ways different from, let's say, Forgotten Realms, in which I assume most of you play, well, I don't want to restrict you in that way, but since we are here, I might as well talk about this thing in regards to our world. Since I talk about world building in my different videos, I might as well tell you some bits from the world we are currently playing in. So, Spear of Seasons is quite an important item in my world, Ludurdiota, and specifically on the continent of Dragosar. It is one of the remnant relics. The idea of these items was inspired by Matt Mercer's Vestiges of Divergence, and they are quite an enigma in my world. They are very old, and despite their power, they do not give off any arcane magic. And since godly magic is a thing of the past and practically non-existent except for a few exceptions, nobody really knows how they came to be and from where they get their power. They also share the trait of the One Ring in that the true potential of these items can only be used by very powerful beings. The stats of the spear are just what a normal mortal could do with it, but were they to fall into the hands of a demon lord, let's say, it could be devastating. At this moment it is hidden somewhere in the Sylvan Grove, a very strange and dangerous place, somewhat depicted in our story theme Spirits of the Forest. It is the symbol of the deity Gambis the Brewmaster, somewhat similar to the Slavic god Radegast, and since there is a beer brand with the name Radegast, we named our deity after a different Czech beer brand, Gambrinus, check it out. However, the item is likely to be older than the deity it symbolizes, so it only adds to the mystery. Now, I would like to add the lore behind remnant relics and the Sylvan Grove, but firstly, I don't know if you are really interested in this type of thing. If you are interested in the lore of our world and my own world building, say so in the comments, we'll be very glad. And secondly, and interestingly enough, it could be a significant spoiler to my current players, and since the person editing this video and doing the painting process you see in the background is one such player, I do not really want to delve into that, but I can tell you something about the campaign he is in. In this campaign, the players have been tasked with retrieving these remnants for a very mysterious being called the Collector, for which they will be, and already have been since they already acquired one, they will be richly rewarded. The main complication about trying to find these items is that they are somewhat connected to three very powerful beings that hunt the Collector, and getting hands on a remnant relic will make you their priority target, so that they may use you to find him, either by torture, as a bait, or in many other different ways. In fact, the aforementioned player slash Rudok's Tavern artist and creator had his character kidnapped by one such being and had to wait the entirety of levels 10 to 12 imprisoned, tortured and experimented upon, only to return with strange magical crystals growing out of his chest and through his body and organs. But I won't delve deeper into that. But now to end this video, don't worry, we shall be returning to our world building series soon, but we would like to know if you were interested in something in this video. Please tell us if you would like more crunchy analysis of balancing homebrew items or creating homebrew items. I am by no means an expert, but I do have some experience, and I think if you are interested in this, I could make something like that. Or if you would like something about our own world's lore, I could do something about that to give you examples in addition to my general world building tips. Or if you want anything else, I am happy to indulge you in any way. But that's all from me for now. Enjoy the rest of the day and fare thee well.